Good afternoon, students. So today in this video we are going to discuss about anti-poverty measures. So in our previous video, as you all know, that we have discussed about the causes of poverty, isn't it? So there were the different causes of poverty. So now we are going to discuss about the to alleviate those poverty. So what are the measures that are steps that are being taken by our government? Okay, because as you all know that the father of nation, he has said that the true independence would then be achieved when the poorest of the poor people of the country would be out of the abject of poverty, isn't it? This removal of poverty has been one of the major objective of the Indian developmental strategy. So the current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based on two planks. One is the promotion of economic growth and another is the targeted anti-poverty program. So the current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based on two planks. One is the promotion of economic growth, that there should be economic growth, and another is the launch of the different anti-poverty programs. Okay, over a period of 30 years, lasting up to early 80s, there was little per capita income growth and not much reduction in poverty. So this we have already discussed, isn't it? Official poverty estimates, which were about 45% in the early 1950s, remained the same in the early 80s. Since 80s, India's economic growth has been one of the fastest in the world. The growth rate jumped from an average of about 3.5% a year in the 1970s to about 6% during 1980s and 1990s. So there was, after 1980s, there was some growth. The higher growth rates have helped significantly in the reduction of poverty. Obviously, when there is a higher growth means higher income, so obviously there will be reduction in the poverty. Therefore, it is becoming clear that there is a strong link between economic growth and poverty reduction. So there is a direct relationship between the growth and poverty. Okay, so poverty reduction. So economic growth widens opportunity, because whenever we are talking about economic growth, there will be the increased opportunities which will provide resources needed to invest in human development and various other things. So this encourages people to send their children, including the girl child, to the school in the hope of getting better economic returns from investing in education. As you all know from your chapter 2 that when there is expenditure in the human resource in the form of education and health, it will give us a return, good return, not only to the person but the person who are dependent on that, and as well as it will benefit the society, and as a result it benefit the nation as a whole. So, however, the poor may not be able to take direct advantage from the opportunity created by economic growth. So, moreover, the poor people, they won't be able to take up the advantage on their own. So, growth in the agriculture sector is much below the expectation. So, this has a direct bearing on the poverty, as a large number of poor people live in villages and are dependent on agriculture. So, in such circumstances, there is a clear need for the targeted anti-poverty program. So, since growth is not only possible, poor people, they won't be able to take up the much advantage of economic growth. Okay, because because poor people, rural areas, most of the people, they are dependent on agriculture, isn't it? So because of that, in those circumstances, there is a clear need for the targeted anti-poverty programs. So although there are so many schemes which are formulated to affect the poverty directly or indirectly, some of the worth mentioning are. So now we are going to discuss some of the programs. Okay, first is the Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. This aims to provide 100 days of wage employment to every household to ensure livelihood security in the rural area. So this is Narega, MG Narega, which will providing 100 days. Those people who are willing to work, able to work, they will be provided 100 days of work by the government. It also aimed to sustainable development to address the cause of drought, deforestation and soil erosion. 1/3 of the purpose jobs had been reserved for women. So the scheme provided employment to 220 crores person days of employment to 4.78 crore household. The share of SC, ST, women person days in the scheme are 23% and 17% and 53% respectively. The average wage has increased from 65 in 2006-07 to 132 in 2013-14. So this is all about the program MG Narega, which will be providing 100 days of work to the rural people. Another program is the Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, PMRY. Okay, so we'll see what under this program it is. So it is another scheme which was started in 1993. So you should be knowing about the date also. Clear, children? So you should be knowing about when was the scheme was launched. So Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana, PMRY, is another scheme which was started in 1993. The aim of this program is to create self-employment opportunity for educated unemployed youth in the rural and the small towns. So this is basically for the educated unemployed, those who are educated unemployed. So for them it is self-employment opportunities for them. So they are helped in setting up small business. Okay, so small businesses they can set up. And okay, so let's see. So they are helped in setting up small businesses and industries. Okay, so they will be funded by the government under this scheme, Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. This is basically for the rural areas for educated unemployed. Another is the Rural Employment Generation Program, REGP, which was launched in 1995. The aim of the program is to create self-employment opportunities in the rural areas and small towns. This is also for rural areas for self-employment. A target for creating 25 lakh new jobs has been set for the program under the 10th 5-year plan. Okay. This is about the RGP. Another is Swarna Jayanti Gram Sarojgar Yojana, SGSY, launched in 1999. The program aims at bringing the assisted poor families above the poverty line by organizing them into self-help groups through a mix of bank credit and government subsidy. So under this program, the poor family will be assisted by organizing them into self-help groups. Formation of self-help group will be there, and through that they will be provided the bank credit through the self-help group and the government subsidies. This is under SGSY, Swarna Jayanti Gram Sarojgar Yojana. Another is the Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, PMGY, launched in 2000. Additional center assistance is given to the state for basic services such as primary health, primary education, rural shelter, rural drinking water, and rural electrification. Another, so this is under the PMGY. Another is the Antodaya Anna Yojana, which was you will so the detail about this Antodaya Anna Yojana is there in your food security last chapter. So we will learn about this in that chapter. Okay, so these were the various anti-poverty programs that are being launched by the government. The result of this program have been mixed. So if you see the outcome, or if you can see the success of this program, it is a mixture. Okay, one of the major reasons for the less it was less effective as well as more effective. It was mixed. The result was mixed. Okay, so one of the major reasons for the less effectiveness is the lack of proper implementation and the right targeting. Obviously, the program was those programs which are being launched, these were less effective because of the less effectiveness. Lack of proper implementation and right targeting, properly not implemented. Moreover, there have been a lot of overlapping of scheme. Despite good intention, the benefits of the scheme are not fully reached to the deserving people. Those who are actually deserving, it could not reach to those people. Okay. So therefore, the major emphasis in recent year is on proper monitoring of all the poverty elevation program. So proper monitoring of all the poverty elevation program has to be done. Okay, so the people who are in actually need, they were not being provided by such programs. So you can call it the result of this program has been mixed. Okay. So then what lies ahead? What are the challenges that lies ahead? So poverty has certainly declined. If you can see the trend, the poverty has certainly declined. But despite the progress, poverty reduction remains India's most compelling challenge. Okay, so what disparities in the poverty are visible between rural and urban area and among the different states? Obviously, we have seen that there is a disparity among the states and among the areas. So certain social and economic groups are vulnerable to poverty: SC, ST women, the girl child. So poverty reduction is expected to make better performance in the next 10 to 15 years. So that these challenges are there. Okay, in future what has to be done? So this would be possible mainly due to the higher higher economic growth, increasing stress on universal free elementary education, declining population growth, increasing empowerment of the women and the economically weaker section of the society. So focus should be to them. The official definition of poverty, however, captures only a limited part of what poverty really means to people. Okay, it only captures the limited part. So it is about the minimum subsistence level of living rather than a reasonable level of living. So many scholars advocate that we must broaden the concept into human poverty. Okay, so they have come with this word line. Only the part of this, the definition of poverty is being captured. So a large number of people may have been able to feed themselves, but do they have education or shelter or healthcare or job security or self-confidence? Are they free from caste and gender discrimination? So these are the questions. So it is a practice of the child labor still common. Worldwide experience shows that with development, the definition of what constitutes poverty also changes. Okay, so it should not be the minimum subsistence of living rather than a reasonable living. Focus should be on that. So eradication of poverty is always a moving target. Hopefully we will be able to provide the minimum necessary in terms of the not only income to the people by the end of the in terms of only income to the all the people by the end of next decade. So but the target will move on for many of the bigger challenges that still remain. So providing healthcare, education and job security for all, and achieving gender equality and dignity for the poor, this will be the even bigger task. So in the challenges that lie ahead, the focus should be not only to the income, but apart from there, the challenges should be to providing healthcare, education, job security, achieving gender equality, dignity for the poor, and these are the bigger tasks. Okay, so these are the bigger tasks. So these are the challenges that lies ahead with us. Okay, so this is about your chapter poverty. So with this we come to the end of this chapter as well.